All right, welcome back to Fleccas, the podcast, episode 182. Today on the show, Team Biden is doubling down, pretending Joe Biden is okay after his botched debate. Wait until you see how much help he needs behind the scenes. Then we have a new theory as to what causes late onset twink mania in Cringe of the Week. This time it's backed by science. Then in Urban Decay, we tell you why maybe a school to prison pipeline isn't the worst idea. And last but not least, I caught multiple sharks on vacation and I have the video to prove it. All this and more, it's Fleccas Talks the Podcast, episode 182, ranked the best new podcast of all time.
Because words are just words until action actually starts. And actions speak louder than words, but at the same time, words speak louder than actions because sometimes it's the right thing to do. Very cool. Very cool.
It's Fleccas Talks the Podcast featuring Richard Grab.
All right, one for one on the intro, as always. Guys, this week's episode is brought to you by the fantastic content we made while we were on vacation. We did a golf Q&A that is getting fantastic reviews. Check out this teaser clip. Thank you to Bonusland and the Golf Q&A for sponsoring.
Thank you, Bonusland. It's very important to sign up, especially when we're on breaks.
Yeah, it's very important to sign up. We had a fantastic vacation. You feeling refreshed?
I am, yeah.
I'm feeling refreshed as well. Feels good to be back in the chair.
I forgot how to do it, so bear with us today. I'm going to be slow and stupid.
Hopefully we don't get the yips. Hopefully we know how to do the show still. We definitely missed you guys a lot. I'm grateful to be back in the chair. We have a lot to cover. But being gone made me realize how important the show is.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people count on us, count on the show to get their news and culture updates and some good takes too.
Of course.
So let's get back into it. That being said, our first story from the break is something that's very important that not enough people are covering. Can you give it a read?
Very soon, you all will be talking about the awakening of the huge dragon next to Antarctica. That's the important stuff we cover and everyone missed, right? Yeah, the huge dragon. All right.
Well, it does sound pretty serious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We might be the only people covering this.
Which is actually more impressive.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because it goes both ways. Because, you know, either it's just a funny little bit, nothing happened, no big deal, haha, we're moving on. Or
we predicted the dragon next to Antarctica.
We predicted the dragon next to Antarctica. And then once it comes out, like, you only heard it here.
Yeah, and the Schizo Instagram account, Royal Bloodline 56. So he's been anticipating this event for a while now. So yeah. I don't know.
So we will see. All right, let's get into some real stories. We do have important ones that are kind of in that same vein of like world-ending events.
Okay.
You know how the government does war games and scenario training?
Of course.
There's a new one they're doing in upcoming months that is supposed to be training for supply chain breakdowns and power outages.
And water woes, apparently, and great power disruption. So those are some pretty tangible things that they're prepping for, right?
Yeah, they're prepping for something, and it kind of reminds me of when Bill Gates and the WEF did the Event 201, where they simulated a pandemic a year before COVID happened. So they kind of like tell you what's going to happen before they knew it.
Yeah. Plus that Obama movie happened. Remember the Obama Netflix movie? So, yeah. All right. They're tipping their hand a little bit. All right.
Sounded crazy at first, but we are entering Act 3.
Yeah. Okay.
So if something happens, you know, I have confidence in the military.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I see where this is going.
Until I had confidence in the military until I saw this clip.
Not a day goes by that I'm not grateful to be serving at this period of time. Being able to undergo a full gender transition beyond hormones, laser hair removal, botox, lip injections, hair lowering, like literally cannot be more thankful to be alive.
Ah, great
now.
to see.
So people's entire motivation for entering the military is all cosmetic and twink changes.
And twink changes. It used to be you want to serve your country,
Maybe get college paid for.
maybe get some college and get paid, but also do the right thing and get out of where you're at. And now it's all about self-service.
They moved his hair down.
The
The
military.
the military is you because you pay for it. The military, you moved his hair down, and I assume he's getting a BBL soon or something like that. That's going to be the next state-approved surgery, right?
Thanks, Uncle Sam.
Yeah, feels good.
That's my new favorite gay black veteran.
Well, it's hard to displace Rob, but I think he does it.
Yeah, so the military is paying for his fillers and Botox and gay transitions. Speaking of Botox,
Okay.
you know how last episode we covered the person with the frozen face, I
Yeah,
think?
yeah.
And we were kind of showing how bad it was. We actually have a new clip that we saw this week that it shows a side-by-side between Botox versus non-Botox. Can you give that a play, please? So there they're doing
Forehead lines,
no forehead lines on the left,
frown lines,
no face on the left.
smile lines. So you're just stuck.
You're stuck with whatever face the Turkish guy gave you.
Didn't that used to be a joke? Like somebody slaps you on your back and your face gets stuck?
Yeah.
And now women are choosing it.
Yeah.
Also, men in Hollywood and people like that, actors, they're just acting and kind of like can't do it anymore. Like it zooms in on someone who's Botox to the gills and they're pontificating and you don't even know what they're up to, what the thought process is.
I'm puzzled.
Nicole Kidman and Zac Efron in a scene together, and it's just like, who are these aliens? So I don't know.
You can't even understand anymore because a lot of communications is like facial expression and body language, and it's just you're stuck in the face. And it's kind of like a monkey paw situation.
Okay.
Like a monkey paw situation is like, I wish I could lose 100 pounds, and then you get your wish, but you end up getting like your leg amputated.
Yeah,
because
one
you
leg,
had-
that's 100 pounds for you.
so it's like a thing where you think you're getting what you want, but it's actually a curse, and then the monkey paw puts his finger down every wish you make, and it's not what you think.
Yeah, I wish to have no wrinkles. Good. You'll never express a thought again on your face.
Exactly, because like the wrinkles come from expressing emotions.
Yeah.
So then you're like, okay, no more wrinkles, but you'll never be able to express emotions again. And it's if you read books, it's Faustian.
You don't read books, so you're just reading that from
But
somewhere.
that's true.
Yeah, I agree.
It is Faustian, and I did read that book, Dr. Faustus,
When?
in like 11th grade.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, I was tested on the book.
Okay, yeah. He read the spark notes of the book in 11th grade.
I
cheated on the test.
I owned the book. I was tested on the book, and I passed a test about the book.
Okay.
And there's another thing with that that relates to birth control. It's Faustian. This is where I saw the tweet. That's why I bring up Faustian. Can you read it?
I know. It was not organically a Faustian bring up. Birth control is comically Faustian. Like the deal is you get to have free sex, but the devil's caveat is it makes you fat and asexual. That has to be divine. It's too perfect, right?
That's interesting, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't that kind of make sense?
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Birth control ruins a lot of young, healthy women, and I don't know why. They say it makes your period later or something, and then they get stuck in this thing, and then they're not even attracted to their boyfriend, and it becomes a nightmare.
and a lot of times it's sold to women at a very young age where it's not even about protecting against pregnancy.
Yeah.
It's like before people are even sexually active when they're in like starting out high school and they tell girls like, oh, this will help you with your period. Get on birth control at like 14. And it actually fucks you up for a long time after that.
Absolutely.
So that's one of the big lies that people are hopefully waking up to and we'll continue to cover and go deeper on. And in our cringe section, we have a poisoning section about all the gays.
Well, and
That's
that's
going to really connect some dots for
and
you.
that's the thing. We've covered the gay behavior, but now we want to pull the thread and get to the gay pipeline. How did it happen?
I have a really good science-backed theory, and I don't want to give it away yet, but it's some of our best work.
All right.
All right, let's make sure we use this opportunity to tickle the post. We're back from vacation. Help us juice the algo. Leave a like, leave a comment again, then start yapping. Make sure notifications are on. That's important. And make sure the P.O. box is full.
All right. You remember how to do it.
I still got it. I still got it.
You did go 1 for 1 on the intro too. By the way, P.S. I feel bad that we missed the debate. I feel bad. That was tough. This vacation was booked long ahead of time, but God, that was so juicy. That was a great experience.
We're going to get to that. That's a page away in housekeeping.
All right.
But let's get into some light topics on politics before the full Joe Biden versus Trump situation.
Okay.
One of our favorites, Sam Briton, the Luggage Twink.
Yeah, Sam Briton got off.
He got off again. This time, he's not being put in jail.
Yeah,
So
Sam.
it's different from how he's constantly getting off.
Yeah, I'm sure he's getting off as many ways as he can. Real sick shit on his computer, everywhere.
But this time it's because the police aren't going to put him in jail. Can you read the update?
Yeah, Biden staffer to the Department of Energy got off with a sweetheart deal for a third time after facing up to 20 years in prison for grand larceny. Prosecutors made a deal with Briton to drop the felony charges to a misdemeanor in exchange for him attending an adult diversion program, writing an apology letter, and 50 hours of community service. He will not serve any jail time.
That sucks. Not going to jail. I always want the opportunity to jail our political opponents.
I know. But
we had it there. He was guilty. He stole the stuff. It wasn't like we're just jailing him for anything.
But we didn't have it. It was the department. It was federal prosecutors, right? Wasn't it like multiple, or maybe it was even state prosecutors? I'm not sure. But it's like, we're not in power right now. If we had delayed this a little bit until the Trump regime got in, he'd be in jail, I think.
Yeah. Do you think he wants revenge on us?
I don't think he has the tools. And here, like, this is sad, right? We're upset Sam Briton didn't go to jail. He stole luggage, like, multiple times. He was wearing that woman's dress while giving a speech, that designer, that African designer woman. But, guys, I think there's a positive lining here. We extinguished his twink light. His burning passion, we kind of snuffed it out and just said, all right, you're done acting up. Yeah, like a fly or something is like in an ashtray, like a cigar into an ashtray where you emphatically snuff out his twink light. Because look at all these pictures we have. Him giving speeches at the Trevor Project, him on a podium, him doing the kink seminar at a college where the little pup play guys are on him. He'll never do that again.
Yeah, those days are over.
We snatched that away from him. He's unemployable. He's got to do some community service. I wonder what that's going to be. Only 50 hours. Him going to the old folks' home dressed up in his twink fit. I don't know.
Not going to be the same.
So
that's a good point. We snuffed him out.
We snuffed out his twink light. He'll never be as loud. And that's the thing with a lot of the loud, obnoxious, fake voice, like gay people. They get invited to the White House. They keep getting they get applauded by the HR department in a corporation, and then they start getting louder. You know what I mean? And so he got loud, and was like, I can steal.
I could do
anything.
anything.
We snuffed him out. So, it's not a total dub, but look on the bright side, guys.
Back to being a shitty gay guy for him.
Exactly.
Back to the truck stop.
Back to Grindr. Back to the trenches.
Now you're getting it.
Exactly.
All right, good stuff. Now it's time to get into the Joe Biden versus Trump politics section, which will include some of the debate. We're not going to show clips. You guys have seen all the clips.
We're going to talk meta perspective on the debate a little bit, I think.
Meta perspective. Obviously, he botched the debate. And before this, the right wing has shown a million clips of Joe Biden botching it and being old and being senile. And then after the debate, the Democrat media is like, wait, what happened? Whoa, this guy doesn't make any sense. This guy can't talk. What's going on?
Clips and behaviors we had seen 1,000 times over for the last 8-10 months, Actually, the last 3.5 years, his entire presidency, right? Wandering, stumbling, stuttering, muttering.
Yep. He's had some issues for sure. And it seems like Team Biden's kind of doubling down at this point where they know he did such a really bad job in the debate. And instead of putting him in the basement and trying to get him back to normal, they're kind of bringing him around and booking events. They have 18 events since the debate, the 2 weeks after the debate. And he's starting to miss them. Like Jill Biden yesterday went and did a couple speeches that he was supposed to do and he didn't do them. Some people are speculating he may have had a medical emergency on Air Force One. Some people are saying it's not true. Some people think he has Parkinson's. There's a Parkinson's doctor making their rounds around the White House a lot.
Really?
Maybe that's why he goes to the, where is he, Rhode Island?
Yeah.
That's why he goes to Rhode Island so much, because they don't see the visitor logs aren't public information, and maybe that's where the doctor comes and gives him his stuff. Who knows? But I will show you guys this. This is from a real article. I thought it was fake when I first saw it. It's an Axios article.
Yeah.
When he goes to events, they have pictures for him that say walk to podium, and there's a picture of the hallway.
Yeah.
And then the next slide is walk to podium, and it's a picture of the podium. So it's literally step-by-step directions, step by step.
Picture book. A step-by-step picture book. For his events, President Biden staffers prepare a short document with large print and photos that include his precise path to the podium. And a lot of people are also saying that, this is no big deal. This happens for every president. This happens for Kamala. This is standard operating procedure.
Yeah, but then he still gets lost.
Yeah. So you can't even read the pictures, right?
Yeah. So they might be trying to pretend that he's okay. Like they're trying to right now pretend he just had a bad night. And
that's the phrase we keep hearing.
Yeah.
He had a bad night.
Had a bad night that he prepared for a week. And
Yeah, he was at the president's retreat preparing for that for a week.
Yeah,
Camp David, right?
Oops, bad night. Exactly. So they're saying he had a bad night so he can make it to the election in 3 months. But if you make it to the election in 3 months, what you're really saying is I'm ready to serve 5 years from now.
Starting a 4.5 year clock from November. Yeah. Which is insane.
So, I understand trying to make it to September, or November, but making it to November means then you have to make it to 2028.
Crazy.
2029, basically, by the time the new president goes in.
Yeah, and he will. If he gets elected again, he will die in office. He's like that level of unhealthy old man.
Yeah.
Especially if they're juicing him for stuff.
Yeah, that's a good point. And I have like a
Dr.
theory.
Feelgood showing up, juicing him. Like, how is an 83-year-old heart gonna...
That's a good point. You can't keep juicing it like that. Too many uppies.
Yeah.
And then uppies and downies, and you mix them.
Uppies, downies, sideways.
Glass of
crazy.
wine.
Yeah.
It spirals.
Dr. Jill accidentally mixes up the pill cases. You know, he's got the whole weekly thing.
She goes, take 2 of these.
He's seeing one doctor, but then he's also doubling down on a secret second doctor. So those 2 doctors don't communicate.
That's a good point.
It gets crazy.
So my theory of what's going to happen, if he makes it to September's debate,
Yeah.
there's always a chance he steps down between now and September. Health issue, probably be health related. They might even say he's got Parkinson's or dementia, whatever. Yeah. I think they need a narrative because if they quit on him right now, everyone's going to know the media's been lying and covering him for the whole time. Mm-hmm. So they kind of need a before and after to publicly go off of. So I think they might try to make it to September, not give him the cocktail, and then go, wow, look how much his dementia accelerated from July to September.
Yeah.
In July, he botched it, but he was pretty much there. In September, he didn't even know he was being asked questions.
Yeah.
He was kind of just on stage and didn't even know it was a debate.
It got worse.
So then they can go, well, it really accelerated. And it's September. It's so late. What do we do? And then comes the swap. Then comes Michelle Obama or whoever you guys think the swap is going to be. But they can't really swap now because the people in the Democrat Party that aren't aligned with the Uniparty, they could like get their own person in.
Yeah.
If they have like a fair primary situation, they need to keep pushing it off so they can justify a last minute switch. It doesn't go by the rules of switching candidates out.
Okay.
You know, and then okay. So that's that. We've covered the debate. We have a lot of clips of him since the debate, absolutely botching it.
Yeah, like with all those 18 appearances, we're gonna have more botch jobs.
We have a lot of clips, and we're gonna get to that in just a sec. But I want to make one more point about the media. You know how they're pretending they're noticing now?
Yeah.
And they're kind of stuck with like, hey.
Because they got caught.
They got caught.
They got caught. They were like, okay, we can cover for him if he does a B-, but he did a D+ or like F, according to us, you know? But they call it probably a D+, and they're like, oh, it was a bad night, right?
Yeah, D+, which is a C- in some blue, you know. Exactly.
So they finally had to admit it.
Exactly. And this is similar to how the media covers like illegal immigrants, for example.
Illegal immigrants, LGBTQ kids, and like what's going on there. Urban Decay, like the city of Oakland is almost gone. You know?
Exactly.
And the media is kind of just like downplaying it, right?
They downplay it. So, oh, it's no big deal. Oh, you know, the illegals. Oh, it's no big deal. They just want a better life.
We can afford it. We have lots of land. All that type of like media downplay, right?
We're a sanctuary city. We're not racist. And then it gets to the point where it's so bad and obvious when it comes to like the sucking of the resources and how much the crime is increased and how these people are really just taking. And then the media is kind of like stuck. Same thing here. Oh, Joe Biden, no big deal. Oh, he's doing great. He's sharper than ever. Then this happens, and now they're in a position where we kind of call their bluff.
Exactly, and it shows you that there's like an inflection point for all these issues where you can't ignore it enough. And we've seen with the migrant crisis and stuff like the rape and murder of like a 12-year-old girl by 2 people. Like in Germany, we're going to go over some really horrible migrant stuff. But like that hasn't reached the threshold for like the media admitting that they're wrong, but Biden did. And so it kind of shows you there is a path for like, oh, wow, the city of Denver, like 51% of their tax revenue is spent on illegal immigrants. That's going to be a flipping point. You know what I mean? And we're just hoping to reach those flipping points before it's too late to salvage them. And, you know, it proves that right-wing media, the centrists and whatever, have to pay attention to it because we're like kind of a leading indicator on a lot of these stories is what I would say.
Exactly. Before we get into his bad clips, we actually have a picture of the Team Biden script writing group. Here they are. Everyone, it kind of makes sense. It kind of sums up everything. It's like, you have the white guy and the Jewish guy in the background working hard while everyone else takes a picture of them being a lesbian.
Head down, laptop grinding while all the women and children are fleeing the Titanic or whatever.
While everyone else is being a lesbian. And there's a rap boy type in there too at the table.
There he is.
Or should they? I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
But that's a rap boy type.
Inside job, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
That's a rap boy type with a little more higher chemical load than I get.
Yeah.
Like everybody gets a chemical load, right? A certain gay chemical load. And, I'm fighting it. My testosterone's fighting back and all that. This guy just succumbed a little easier than I did. Mm-hmm. So,
and we're going to get to that, the gay chemical load.
Okay.
You're giving it away.
I know.
Don't give it away too much.
I know.
All right. So we do have clips now. Joe Biden on July 4th with Jill. He gave a speech, and here's what happened.
And we give thanks to our Commander-in-Chief, the President of the United States, the extraordinary President of the United States, Joe Biden!
Ho, ho, ho!
It's like he
Happy
did the meme.
Independence
It's like, all right,
Day.
Joe, a lot of energy. It's July 4th. Whatever you got off the hip should be fine.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Just don't allude to any other holidays.
You're now seeing him overcompensating for being like a corpse, where he has to go, hey, hey, ho, 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 and he accidentally chose Christmas. It's a shame. But he's overcompensating now, right?
He is overcompensating. And there was an article that came out that's kind of covering for Biden. It said, Biden at 81, sharp and focused, but sometimes confused and forgetful.
Yeah.
How do you have those in the same sentence?
I don't even get it. And it's like super hot girl, beautiful and young, but also fat and old.
400 pounds.
400-pound pig. I don't know. So, complete misdirection. But that's funny. And then that's another piece of the whole Biden debate reaction is like, who's still on the team and who abandoned ship, right? Fauci's still really on the team.
Yeah.
There was a clip from him that went crazy. And it's like, Fauci, he's also like 82 years old. Saying like, no, Joe Biden still got it. And it's like, that's reflecting on you. You don't want to be in trouble for any of the COVID shit you did. So you see who's desperate, like Mark Cuban on Twitter.
Oh, yeah.
I'm more convinced than ever he's got some videotapes out
What
there.
did you do, Mark?
Mark, just tell us what you did. Come clean, be a normal guy, and we'll spare you of the death penalty, right?
Or you might have to go to Guantanamo.
Yeah, it might be a Guantanamo Bay situation.
And then Joe Biden did some mingling with the black community. Here's him meeting a black man. And he starts rubbing his arm.
Yeah. And he looks down. The guy looks down at his arm immediately.
And they're both looking at it like, is this really happening?
And black guys, especially masculine black guys, like in some sort of law enforcement or polo type role, they don't really fuck with that.
Yeah, they're miss me with that gay shit.
Miss me with that gay shit. Exactly what I was about to say. That's their favorite phrase.
And then he did some more black outreach where he went to a church. And here is a pastor explaining to him, here's money for, they give money.
The donation
The
basket,
donations
yeah.
that come around, the basket comes around. He's explaining it to Joe Biden, who grew up in the black church. And Joe Biden really can't understand what's going on. So he goes, hey, here's for the donations.
Put the money in the collection box.
And he says, who do I give this to? You can see, who do I give this to? And you could tell he's just got, who do
I give this to right there? So no White House printout with a picture of where to go for that collection box. So of course he's fucked.
So
Right?
imagine you get the guy giving you the money, and then you go to your notes, and it has a picture of money, and then it's like, wait for collection box, money arrow collection box.
Yeah. And you know what? Again, another thing, the right-wing people being ahead of the general, like, average consumer of media content. Biden, remember, almost full 2 years ago, we'd catch pictures of his note cards, and they'd say, like, the most brutal, obvious instructions.
Sit in chair.
Yeah, he's read his teleprompter, like, words that are move end of quote, He's read that shit dozens of times. So just another data point of us being ahead.
Yeah, soon it'll just be attached strings to shoes, and then he just gets like
puppeted around. They're fully puppeting him on stage.
That's kind of what's coming.
I know.
All right, so
Weekend at Bernie's shit.
What happens is Kamala the next one up? 1% Kamala. Remember she ran?
Yeah.
And she said Joe Biden was racist. Someone on Twitter says Kamala can't run. Can you read this schizophrenic post?
Which one?
The one on the right.
Okay. Unless proven with court documents, at the time of Kamala's birth, her parents were not U.S. citizens. They were foreign students. At the time of her birth, she was the daughter of non-citizens. This makes her an anchor baby. She is not eligible to hold the office of president.
I don't know if that's true or not.
But
sounds interesting.
Sounds good enough to me.
Rings true. Yeah. Rings true enough.
Birtherism 2.0 for Kamala.
Well, birtherism 2.0, and then birtherism is for Barack Obama.
Yeah.
And then the trans Mike Obama is also a Obama thing, which takes us to our next thing, our next schizophrenic post.
Do you know this man? His name is Kamal Aroush, born in Benghazi, British citizen since 1986. His father was army general in the Libyan Senussi Satanic Royal Army. So it's everything. Satanic Royal Army. Kamala Harris is a man. Kamala Aroush.
So Kamala is a man.
There you go.
That's like an overlap of the birtherism and Big Mike into Kamala.
I see the hashtags QAnon and Pedogate here. So you know it's highly trustworthy.
Yep. That should nuke our algorithm release. Okay, so to wrap up this section, it's going to go one of two ways. They either steps down between now and September, or he gets to September, then they swap him after the medical emergency, Parkinson's or dementia.
And it's better for us. It seems like there was some genuine infighting among Democrat donor class on whether or not he would stay, and Biden's got some loyalists, people he's hooked up. And as of right now, he's staying. So we'll see if they can mount a counteroffensive to that.
Yep, and then part of that counteroffensive is what they're doing in Wisconsin, where now they're allowed to do the drop boxes again. So they're bringing back the drop boxes. It says Wisconsin Supreme Court reinstates ballot drop boxes for 2024 election. So we thought we had that fixed.
Great.
Because of obviously the fraud that can happen with ballot drops. But I guess for some reason, the Supreme Court reversed that decision.
The heartland, all the cheeseheads, all the dairy farmers out there in Wisconsin. We need to be able to drop 100 ballots at a time so your vote doesn't count.
Yeah. All right, well, let's get a little more down and depressed and move on to our migrant section. Let's start in Europe first. There's a new mayor in the UK who was just elected. This guy right here getting out of his car. That's not good.
The new mayor of Briton, England. Did we verify this?
No.
Okay. Fleccas, hey, I will say this. Fleccas, we sent a lot of assets in between the last episode and now on the break. There was a lot of misinformation out there. I think one was Bill Gates making maggot milk, just to show you the level of shit Fleccas is just firing from the hip. So
we usually verify, but I'm pretty sure that's true.
I know. I didn't see a community notes on that one, but hey, grain of salt, I guess.
Yeah. And, it makes to look bigger picture into this type of situation and the battling between groups, in culture, like the Muslims, some groups will conquer you with sheer numbers and persistence.
Yeah.
They just won't quit and they're going to keep loading up the people. And over time, they'll win that way.
Chain migration, breeding, brute force.
Exactly. While some other groups will test your free will with temptation and subversion and predatory debt and anti-free speech laws and eroding your culture and importing third worlders and anti-white rhetoric.
Okay.
Some people will try to do that. And then some other groups will just shoot you for your headphones.
Yeah.
I know. So there's a lot of different groups that everyone's battling in different ways. But if you have a foundation in God, Jesus, the real God, then you can overcome all three of those opponents.
Yeah.
That's the big takeaway.
And you stay with your community and your church.
Exactly.
I agree.
And then
there's a lot of pitfalls out there. A lot of people want to scalp you. And I mean, that's kind of an overarching theme of the show, the white man. A lot of people want to scalp, politically irrelevant, all that stuff.
The Western white man is the ultimate scalp. And once that scalp is attained and taken
removed from the head and held up.
Once that happens, the whole world is conquered.
Yeah.
We're the last frontier. And then this Muslim stuff is happening, obviously, in America, too. Ilhan Omar, there was a guy who was campaigning for her, and listen to what he says.
Former Somalia Prime Minister Hassan Ali Khairi, I don't know. I'm not learning how to pronounce Somalian names.
Just pronounce it how it's spelled.
It is very important in Ilhan tahay Somali tahay meeshaas lagu jirto. Qofkii Soomaaliya oo aragtidiisu tahay.
Any Somali who believes that a black man should take that seat or a white person, there is something wrong with that person's morals, is what this guy says. I have told Somalis yesterday while speaking live, you are all community leaders. So basically, there's no reason to vote for anyone other than a Somali if you're a Somali who chain migrated into that congressional district.
Exactly. And then he goes on to say that Ilhan Omar will put Somalia first. It's not about America, it's about Somalis.
Yeah.
Which is exciting.
There was another campaign event that we were going to show, but we didn't put the video in, where they were all speaking not English and not a single American flag was around. So
yeah. That's how it goes.
And that's what I said about the tipping points, right? Like, that's kind of one of those communities, that Dearborn, Michigan, these different places that the right wing needs to be kind of shouting from the rafters about how much these people, they're not here to assimilate. They're here to take over a town and do things their way.
Exactly.
And it's not great for America at all.
It gets ugly for people with standards. There's actually a story out of the UK about a guy who ran a curry house.
Curry house chef prepared food after wiping his bottom with his bare hands because he doesn't use toilet paper for cultural reasons.
So that's what we have to do.
So the curry house guy wipes his hand. I don't even know. How do you get in there?
They like to use just
They like to use their fingers. When he goes like this and then he gets in the curry. Disgusting
or they
shit.
go in the street and then they use the fire hose, the fire extinguishers, and they clean up with just their hand and they go, all right, hey, good to meet you.
So his cultural reasons outweigh your cultural reasons, despite him immigrating to your host country. So.
And he's feeding you shit curry.
Yeah.
Because you go, ooh, we got to try a new curry place.
Ethnic food. Oh, I'm a Wojak.
Diversity is our strength. Oh, there's ethnic food. And we can't get rid of the migrants. How am I going to get to the curry house where I can eat the shit food from someone's hand?
It's pretty quick. It's a pretty slippery slope, and it's pretty quick to eating shit.
Exactly. And
literal.
Yeah. And another example of this cultural decay because of all these Muslims and third worlders, I Show Speed, the streamer.
One of those streamer types.
He went to Norway and look at the reaction.
So he's getting swarmed.
And they're pulling at his hair, they're ripping his clothes, they're yanking him. He's like in trouble.
Yeah.
All these damn Norwegians.
Yeah. These Scandinavians, they're not really, they're grabby. They're grabby. They don't respect each other's personal space. It's crazy. So, and then here's his chat reacting like not a single Norwegian in the mix.
Yeah, exactly.
Crazy.
So that's how it goes.
And I don't even like I Show Speed. He's kind of a brain dead streamer guy, but
he should, after that experience, be telling his audience to vote in America for Donald Trump because he's going to get all the illegals out, and the illegals are ruining the West. But I don't think he...
Yeah, he doesn't jump to those conclusions. He just goes, man, Norway was wild.
Yeah, those Norwegians are fucked up.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get into some more serious stories in Germany. We're still in Europe. The migrant rape story out of Germany.
Basically, Germany, this is one of the most horrible, lopsided justice system stories we've ever heard and is a leading indicator for any Western country. But it says, Germany, woman convicted of offending migrant rapist receives longer prison sentence than the rapists.
That's bad.
So this was from 2020. I'm going to summarize the story. This was in Hamburg, Germany. A 20-year-old woman in Hamburg has been sent to prison after making hateful remarks towards a migrant who was involved in the gang rape of a child. The woman is just one of 140 people being investigated for making harmful comments towards the rapist. So I would assume this was all on social media or things like that.
It happened in 2020, but then since then they've been investigating.
So one horrible gang rape, and then now it's like, okay, police, get to work. 140 people are under suspicion of making mean comments about those. And I want to apply some context to the rape. This horrific assault took place in 2020 and involved multiple groups of migrant men independently attacking a 14-year-old girl. She was at a park drinking during COVID. Police came and kind of like broke up the young kids drinking. She was 14. And then a pack of wild migrants noticed that she was alone and vulnerable. 2 guys raped her. Can I keep saying this?
You can.
Is our algo going to get nuked?
Algo's nuked.
Sorry. COVID-19, the girls had been drinking with her friends, but became separated. So these guys rape her, and then they kind of start passing this girl along to other migrants. They start sending WhatsApp messages, videos of these rapes, saying like, hey, we got one. It's time. Like, and other people started coming in and raping this girl. Just like a horrible, horrible story. Finally, the child managed to break away, even though she was pursued by her rapist. Eventually, she came across people who recognized her traumatized state and immediately called the police. A total of 11 men were initially charged, but 2 were acquitted quickly due to lack of DNA evidence. The sperm of 9 other men, however, had been successfully recovered from the girl's body. Just like the most horrible thing you could ever think of. 5 men were in possession of German passports, while the remainder were not citizens of Germany. They were Syrian, like all shit like that.
And then some people complained about it and made some comments, and then they're getting more jail time than the rapists.
Angered by the news of the case, a 20-year-old woman from Hamburg messaged the number through WhatsApp. The unnamed woman called him a dishonorable rapist pig and a disgusting miscarriage. She added, "Aren't you ashamed when you look in the mirror?" And the woman has now been convicted and sentenced to a weekend in prison for her remarks, meaning that she will have spent more time in jail than 8 of the 9 rapists because their charges were dismissed. So overall, guys, it's kind of time to wake up. The West has fallen, and people in the UK spend more time in jail for like shit talking migrants than migrants do when they actually commit a rape. So.
Exactly. And then in Germany, also, there was 24 hours of just these headlines in 24 hours of all these knife attacks.
Yeah.
And they were all done by migrants. So all these are headlines from independent knife attacks that were all done by migrants in the last
10
24 hours.
reports of knife attacks in one 24-hour period. That's just Germany in 2024, guys.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
And then there's also, I saw a tweet. That
So again, these are the things that we're seeing. We report on them. We see like the horrible injustice. And then it doesn't make it to the mainstream average consumer. Nobody knows about like this horrible misappropriation of justice. And then it'll reach a tipping point like when Germany's 51% Muslim refugees or something? What's that tipping point? What's that Joe Biden horrible debate moment for the migrant crisis?
Exactly.
You know?
Because if it's not this, what can it be?
Exactly.
And another example of a tipping point, here's Canada's soccer team from 1984 versus Canada's soccer team in 2024.
Yeah.
So they got the scalp over there.
Canada's really getting scalped right now. I just saw a press release that KFC is now going to be halal. So no more bacon products in Canada. So the aggressive, loud minority has demanded change, and it's already being enacted. So tough break for real Canadians.
Yep. And then to wrap up our European section, there was a tweet that kind of summed up what's going on over there. It said, every white European wants mass deportations across the West, and not one party across dozens of countries will give it to us.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
Very strange how nothing's ever happening, you know?
Everyone, both sides want these people out. Everyone realizes they're not adding any value, but not one party is like, hey, we'll get these guys out.
Yeah. You look at the statistics, the people who come, like what tiny percentage of them get jobs. They're just pure leeches off the system, living in like subsidized housing, getting their European version of food stamps. And for some reason, nobody seems to be like, yeah, I'll do it. I'll be the guy to get them out.
For some weird reason.
Yeah.
For some strange reason.
And then France and the UK both just had elections where the Liberal Party kind of like controlled power. I don't know enough about either of their political systems, but in France, for sure, it seemed like there was some political maneuvering by Macron, and like 200 people dropped out of their race to ensure that they wouldn't split votes against the far right and stuff like that. But it's not going great, you know?
Yeah.
People are doing anything they can. It seems like the migrant thing is the one issue, the one important, like, this must not stop that's going on in Europe. So
because there is a greater agenda, and obviously it is to decrease the white population and replace them with third worlders. Here's the UK. Here's a little chart. UK birth rates over the last, like, 8 years or so.
Yeah. Indian plus 13%, Black African plus 2%. White British minus 18%.
So There's an agenda.
Yeah.
It's not even hard to see.
The shit curry will continue.
Exactly. And then let's get to the U.S. There was a man on the street interview with the mayor of San Diego.
I think he might be a suburb of San Diego, but El Cajon, I think, California.
So it's a mayor of a town within San Diego.
Who are you?
My name is Bill Wells. I'm the mayor of the city of El Cajon.
And here in San Diego County, we're seeing a lot of stuff happening here at the border. And you guys being a border town, how's it affecting the city here?
Since October, we've had over 250,000 drop-offs in San Diego, these street releases. The county of San Diego already spent $6 million on a migrant welcome center, which I'm not sure why we need that, but they've just allocated another $19 million for that. But, there are also costs that you don't see. Everybody that comes across, whether they're a citizen or not, is entitled to full health care. That even includes having sex change operations. That's an expense for the whole family. People that come over with kids are put up in hotels. Those hotels costs $8,000 to $10,000 per month, and that's paid for by the city. So these are expensive things. Now there's a bill in California that says that if you're an illegal alien, you can get free college tuition, even a 20% down on a house. These are things that American citizens are not getting.
So,
free healthcare, free sex change, college tuition, 20% down on a house.
I'd risk anything to get that deal. I would travel all the way from the southern tip of South America to get that deal.
Yeah. So it's like, hey, Democrats, here's your stupid ideas in action.
Yeah.
Here's what it looks like. You want to do this feel-good utopia or whatever. Here's what it looks like. Yep. Let's end the migrant section with an ancestors meme. This was like a tweet. It's a pretty good summation of what's going on and kind of like the mindset we need to get through this.
Pretty sure my ancestors didn't survive an ice age, engage in civil wars, endure famines, defend invasions, conquer oceans, cure their sick, produce marvels of engineering, and pass their inheritance to me just so I can hand it to African boatmen with iPhones and sob stories.
That's a good point.
It's not the people to hand it off to, brother.
Yeah.
So
exactly. All right. We're getting to our last page of housekeeping. The show's going to go a little long today just because we're back and we have so much to cover.
Yeah.
So we're going to go an extra like 10, 15 minutes. No big deal. The last page of housekeeping, which we're on, is obviously my favorite, and that's where I get to do the stuff I want to do.
All right. Go ahead.
All right. So first things first, I got back from my vacation and I caught a shark.
Okay.
It's a dogfish.
Okay.
So it's not technically a shark.
It looks sharky to me.
But I caught multiple. Mm-hmm. Here we have in the background kind of me reeling it in. It's a lovely scene at sunset.
Wow.
Here's me reeling it in with Chinese Donut Boy helping me.
Wow, you're doxing Chinese Donut Boy.
And then you see me just grab it.
Where?
And when I pick it up.
Yeah.
And he's like fighting me, and I didn't know if he had teeth or not. So I was like, treating it like a snake where you grab his tail and he can't do a full 180 on you.
Uh-huh.
It was the biggest shark-type fish I've ever caught off the beach.
Congratulations, brother.
Thank you, brother. And then I also caught a striped bass, multiple striped bass. But
how many? This was the biggest one?
We caught like 10.
Okay.
And then they have like a rule now.
You wore that shirt to go out fishing?
It's sunny. You don't
long sleeve?
You don't want to get burned.
Okay.
It's a little chilly too.
All right. Dark?
A
little chilly?
Okay.
And
then
I'm not questioning. I'm just asking you to explain a little bit.
There's a slot rule, it's called, so it has to be within like 31 to like 35 inches. So you can only keep.
That's a really specific. Yeah.
Yeah, because I like to catch the big ones, but the small ones taste the best. But yeah, caught striped bass, did a good job there. Enjoy the time with my family. But I also realized some things during my break, and I kept notes.
Okay.
You want to hear one of my ideas?
Sure.
Okay. Hear me out. If you go to a coffee shop and a Gen Z person is working there as a barista, you pay cash. When they give you the change, say they give you $2 in change, you go, oh, you forgot the $5.
Oh, you bluff them.
You bluff them?
You do the old school, like, what do they call that? Fast short changing them?
Something like that.
Yeah. That's like a common hustle is like short change.
And like Gen Z can't do math, number one. They can't do like 33 minus 11 minus 5. They're like, they just can't do it. So they give you you kind of like lightly accuse them, like, oh, you forgot the 5. And then they have like a mini panic attack. They want the event to just end. They'll just open the drawer and hand you a 5.
Okay.
And if they don't, you can go, oh, sorry, I thought I miscalculated. You're right.
Okay, that's a
You
good
can-
tip.
It's no big deal. But I think a lot of times with the easy out, you forgot the 5. The 5 is the easy out where they just give them a 5 and this is over.
Yeah.
It's
free $5.
You can capitalize on that anxiety.
Yeah, all right.
So it's something
that happened to us after golf. You remember when the guy was giving me change and he gave me a $1 bill instead of a 5?
I don't remember.
You were there. Remember 7-Eleven getting Arnie Palmies after golf?
Yeah, I remember.
Drink of the summer. Come on.
Yeah, I remember that now.
All right.
So they did.
He
that
wasn't
to you.
Gen Z though,
but he was Indian. Yeah. Indians can do math.
Yeah.
Gen Z can't do math. They just do the thing and then 5 here. It's over. This guy leaves. Okay. Let's go on to our next thing I learned from vacation.
Okay.
I learned I ate pie every single day.
Ooh.
And it's bad.
Yeah.
And I also learned to negate that, I need to do something drastic that makes a huge change all at once. So I'm announcing today on the show that I am partaking in a 1-week fast.
Oh my God.
Where I am not eating food for a week starting today, Tuesday, until next Tuesday. All I'm going to be eating is nothing. All I'm going to be drinking is water, salt, black coffee or tea.
Okay.
Maybe some apple cider vinegar if I have a headache.
Okay. Get ready for the lowest energy episode on Friday you've ever seen if he goes through with this.
I'm going to do it. And I need to get back on track to where I was. I ate a lot of pie on vacation, even the week before with all the content we're making.
What kind of pies? What kind of pies?
Cherry pies, triple berry pies, blueberry pies, ice cream with pie.
Shit, sounds so good.
I went to an ice cream store and got pie there.
Oh, you fell into the pie trap.
And then every day it's like, oh, the pie from last night.
Oh, just a
like
little dessert.
There's a third left. You kind of just eat it with the spoon, the serving spoon out of the thing, and all day secretly.
I know that game.
So I ate too much pie. So I need to get back on track all at once. I can't slow and steady. I need to do something drastic. 1-week fast starts now. I don't need you guys to hold me to it. I'm just going to do it.
Good luck, brother.
Encourage me.
Good luck.
Wish me some luck, So it's starting today and goes till next Tuesday. And then we'll be talking about that more in Bonus Land.
All right.
Okay. The last 2 things, the last 2 funny memes from my page of Housekeeping. The guy who's stuck in the print shop.
This is a poster printed somewhere. I'm trapped in the print shop. Send help, not a joke. I can only communicate via campaign posters.
Pretty good.
All right. Thank you for forcing me to read a meme.
Yep. And then the Sixth Sense meme.
If you're ever having a bad day, just remember this guy found out he was dead and was still going to work. Tough break for Bruce Willis.
Yep.
Yeah. He's still a psychologist, right? That was his job?
Something like that.
All right.
All right. We're moving on. We are done with housekeeping, but I almost forgot. I actually have a picture of me in the ocean. I think it's like a candid shot from far away, but I zoomed in of me in the ocean. What do you think? What do you think about that?
I don't know. It looks pretty good. It looks like that's probably the best recent picture with the angles and everything, the comfortable water line at a good level. But you're going on a week fast.
Yeah.
So what am I supposed to? How am I supposed to justify these two things?
Well, I'm physically heavy.
Looking good, brother. Hey,
looking better.
Strong.
Looking strong.
But
'cause you can be strong and be over 300. I'm just kidding. We're not over 300.
Okay. I believe you.
We're not.
I believe you. It's like Joe Biden. I believe you.
All right. That is the end of housekeeping. We're moving on to Cringe of the Week. Our first clip and story from Cringe of the Week is that guy Josh, the Bachelorette twink. So the guy who had the late onset twink mania. We kind of have this. He's from The Bachelorette.
Which I didn't know when we covered him before.
We covered him before. He's from The Bachelorette. Some people think he's doing a bit. So they kind of have this before and after playing behind us. Where he's at The Bachelorette. He's a hot guy with tattoos.
Hey, pick me. I'm The Bachelorette. And now he's twinking it.
And then something happened.
Yeah.
Something happened.
Yeah.
And I don't think he's doing a bit because his entire page, as you can see in the background here,
he's wearing bikinis, like dresses, shitty lipstick.
Earrings, lipstick, makeup, bikinis, going out in public, getting kicked out of women's bathrooms.
If it's a bit,
he's committed
it's
to the bit, if it's a bit.
Yeah, it's the most committed I've ever seen anybody.
It's impossible.
As committed as Dylan Mulvaney is, you know?
Yeah. And in the beginning, they told us Dylan Mulvaney was doing a bit too, and we knew he wasn't. So it kind of makes you wonder, what can make someone do a 180 like this?
Yeah.
Go from the Bachelorette, the guy who has 20 dates at once and everyone wants him, to someone who's like cooked mentally.
Yeah, and that's you might think like that's drastically different, but that's like attention-seeking behavior for both ways. So there's a common thread, but it is a 180 flip sexuality-wise, right?
It is. And that's where I put on my little science pants.
Your doctor hat. Like as if there's a doctor hat.
I put on my doctor hat and I did a little research.
Okay.
And let's start with that.
Okay.
Can you give that a read?
It's no surprise that a chemical as potent as methyl mercury harms wildlife when it enters an ecosystem in high concentration. In the case of wetland birds, researchers have found it can even change sexual orientation, causing males to pair off with other males. And this is from a study that says pollution makes birds gay.
So the pollution is a mercury pollution.
Methyl mercury?
Yeah, which is mercury. And then in the article, there's some more details. Can you give it a read?
A years-long study at the University of Florida suggests that mercury pollution can alter the hormones of white ibises to make males more likely to mate with other males. We knew that mercury can disrupt hormones. What is most disturbing about this study is the low levels of mercury at which we saw effects on hormones and mating behavior. Peter Frederick, a wildlife ecology and conservation professor who led the study, said in a news release this week. This suggests that wildlife may be commonly affected.
And then, sorry for all the reading, but then there's one more little paragraph.
In 2006, about 55% of the high mercury diet males were nesting with other males. Frederick said the degree of male-to-male pairing was proportional to the degree of mercury in the diet. That played a role in breeding differences as well. In comparison with the control group, high mercury males were less likely to be approached by females during courtship. All of the mercury-consuming males were less prone to perform the ritual head bows and bobs that are part of the ibis's mating ritual.
So,
low levels and huge percentages.
Huge percentages.
Crazy.
So the mercury made the male birds nest and pair off with other men.
Crazy. Chemicals are turning the frogs gay. Alex Jones said that. This is like an NBC News article in a University of Florida study.
Yes. So mercury can make birds gay.
Yeah.
Allegedly. Or it's backed by the science. So
yeah, University of Florida study with pretty evidence, you know.
So let's
evidence.
connect some dots and extrapolate across species.
Okay, doctor.
So mercury can make you gay allegedly. And mercury is also in the you-know-whats. And the amount of you-know-whats have increased over the years, as have the amount of homosexuals and trans people.
Yes.
And we're not going to get super scientific, but the heavy metals, some people think can cause some mental problems.
Okay.
And trans people oftentimes
have those problems.
Are autistic.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's almost like the final proof, allegedly.
Add a couple million migrants to the equation, and you got a conquered nation, baby.
Yeah. But there's something going on.
Yeah, I agree.
Where the metals, which get into you a certain way throughout your whole life, way more than they used to, and now you have 1 in 5 kids is LGBT in Gen Z. Simple science.
Yeah, it's getting greasy.
Causation.
Thank you, doctor.
You're welcome. Okay.
Something to think about, because we're always analyzing the behavior, but how did the behavior get this way? What is encouraging that behavior? And
then mercury is found in fish.
Yeah.
And gays like to eat fish. They think it's light.
They think it, yeah. They have a little tuna. It's high in protein.
And also, gays like to wear costume jewelry. And costume jewelry often has certain toxic metals in it.
Okay. That's actually a good one.
So once you get on the gay path,
it accelerates even more.
Parabolic.
Exponential parabolic shit, yeah. I know. All of a sudden, you're off The Bachelorette and you're wearing bikinis on a full Instagram video.
Exactly. And then let's also show this before and after. This nice, normal girl. Here's her before. She's just some girl posting selfies. Normal.
Cute.
At prom. Cute, nice young girl. And then after coming out...
Mad.
Are you telling me that girl didn't get poisoned and derailed from her destiny?
That's what I think.
It has to be.
Yeah.
And then to wrap it up even further, look at the most recent NBA draft class. Here it is playing in the background. These guys are all in the NBA draft.
This is like draft night shit. They all look really young and small.
I could fuck all these people up.
And I'm sure they're tall, and that's why they're making each other look a little less tall.
They look like little boys.
They look like very young, yeah.
Like little, like asexual little boys.
That's Gen Z's first NBA draft class, I think.
So something's going on there as well.
Yeah.
Something to keep in mind.
Chemicals, hey, everybody, we've said it before on the show. High testosterone guys, they get knocked down to normal guys. Normal guys get knocked down to gay guys. Gay guys get knocked down to trans guys, and like everybody loses a rung. So it's affecting everyone.
It is affecting everyone, allegedly. And the government doesn't want people to realize this because then they'd be pissed that everyone's getting allegedly poisoned. So instead of letting people get mad or realize what's going on, they double down and they celebrate all the gay shit with pride. And that takes us to our next clip, the gay street blowjob with mouth pissing.
Don't know how much of this we're going to be able to show, but...
It's highly censored.
This is an old man in a pool of piss in San Francisco, and he's... You can figure out what he's up to.
So we're going to do a little juxtaposition here. This is like gay PORN.
Yeah, that's like... we can't even show
we
it.
had
It's
to
like
fully censor it.
It's the most horrible shit I've ever seen, right?
Yeah. And this is allowed and celebrated in public in San Francisco, and the cops don't do anything.
Yeah, we had a video of Taylor Hansen going up to the cops and kind of reporting this is from him at Tenant Media, and he said, hey, is there anything going? And the cops are like, well, that was kind of a private event, right? So
it's like on the street.
You had to cross a barrier to get there, though. So the cops are like, well, we're not here for that. The cops basically co-signed this. It's like, oh, Epstein Island? That's a private event, right? Like whatever goes on there is cool, is basically what the cops are saying in that situation. So
exactly. So the cops don't care about that. And we're going to check in on some recent events and see what cops do care about. Here's a guy who's getting arrested for eating a sandwich on a subway platform.
You're eating.
Bro, so what?
It's against the law.
So what?
It's a violation of California law. I have the right to detain you.
No, you don't.
All right. So eating a sandwich on the subway, it's against the law. I have the right to detain you.
Yeah. Getting pissed on in public.
That's fun.
That's easy. That's just do it.
And then this next guy, he, I believe, got arrested or fined for trying to sell homemade pickles.
All right, now I'm fucking pissed and I'm going to make a video about it. I got a call from Missouri Department of Health this morning saying that they got a complaint from somebody in a local Facebook community group saying that we sell pickles and green beans, which we do. We would sell pickles and green beans. We haven't sold any yet. But it pisses me off because what the fuck was America founded on? We're getting ready to go into the 4th of July to celebrate our independence and our fucking freedom. 2 days before that, I get a call from the health department that says, no, you can't sell the fucking products you make on your own farm. That's the whole goddamn America dream.
Sorry, buddy.
Yeah.
You should have been shooting up heroin with state-provided needles in a kid's playground, and the cops would have left you alone.
No green beans. Get in the piss pool, buddy.
Exactly. You can't sell fermented foods because they can't monitor what you're selling to make sure that there's enough Bill Gates chemicals on it.
The maggot milk. The maggot milk.
So if you don't have enough Bill Gates chemicals, you're not allowed to sell. Sorry, you should have thought about that. And then there's a kid in St. Pete who's getting in trouble.
Yeah, St. Pete, which we covered, the donuts on the gay flag. Police in St. Petersburg, Florida have arrested 18-year-old Christian Mayer on charges. Felony criminal mischief for doing donuts on the Pride mural painted in the middle of the road. And one of the replies in that tweet said, Team DeSantis is looking into this.
Good,
so
please do.
I'd love to see a pardon there.
Yeah, so you can't leave tire marks on the street because that's for the gay sex piss pool.
Yeah. Get out the piss pool, buddy. What if the punishment is get in the piss pool?
Yeah. Make you state what's it called? State-sanctioned homosexuality.
Yeah, state-enforced homosexuality.
And then
to make up for it. Re-education, right?
Yep. And then here we have a founding father statue being removed. Didn't have enough public gay sex around it, I guess.
That's Thomas Jefferson.
Yep.
So
not
gotta go.
Not publicly gay sexed enough.
Not enough pup play involved in that one.
But jokes aside, the gays are actually under attack. This guy got gay bashed in L.A., and this is kind of fucked up. So we have to play it fair. Gays don't have it all easy.
I'm hopping on here. I think I just got gay bashed for the first time in 19 years of living in Los Angeles. I was just here at the Sprouts in Culver City, and I was walking near the deli section, and this older guy said, "Don't get too close. I'm not gay." 19 years, I've never had that happen here. And it's Pride Month, the end of Pride Month. So there's that. This fight is not over. And this sucks.
Fight's not over. It's hard out there. Someone said, "Don't come too close to me." He probably offered to like
the Sprouts in Culver City. He probably offered. He probably gave him like a.
He's probably touching the
don't get too close.
The eggplants in a provocative way,
Yeah.
and it was like, "Hey, get away from me, man! I'm not gay." And we're under attack. We need a piss pool out front right now.
Get the piss pool outside. Start blowing it up. We need the piss pool outside the Culver City Sprouts.
Under attack.
Yeah,
that's the evidence of under attack. All right, well, we're moving on to Urban Decay.
Yeah.
We have a lot of stuff to get to, and it's a longer show than usual. Our first clip from Urban Decay is the baby stealing Amazon packages with his auntie.
I do. Bye, Get it. Yeah. Huh? Yeah, get the bag. Yeah, get it. Okay. Come
on.
I did it. Is that what he said at the end? I did it.
I did it.
That's like where, Mommy, I read for the first time. I put the triangle block in the triangle hole. I did it.
Mm-hmm.
And this is stealing a package.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P.
Yeah. Q, R, S. And the funniest part, too, is like this fat, stupid black mom. I don't know if she was just lazy or if she thought like adding the kid would add a layer between her and breaking the law. Like, oh, it's a kid. He can't go to jail or whatever.
Or if she gets caught, she can be like, I didn't see he was doing
the
that.
Kid, yeah. But she just instead made it like a longer, more drawn out child direction stealing process, which is 10 times more likely to get caught. And instead, that's another thing. Stealing on Ring cameras? What happened? Don't you know you're going to be on it?
She's just living in the moment.
Yeah. Can't even think past there's a package. I want that package right now. Yeah. Enjoy your $10 hair accessories for white people hair.
Yeah, exactly.
That you can't even use, right?
And it's like the same people who say like, oh, you good to steal that package, go steal that package, are probably the same ones that say, oh, the cops want to hunt you down.
Yeah.
And it's actually kind of true because if you're out there breaking the law and doing all these crimes, the cops are looking for you.
The cops do want to hunt you down. Yeah. They don't want to shoot you. They just want to get you for petty larceny or whatever the infraction is.
So they're hunting you down because you broke the law.
But you stole, right? The cops are out here hunting us. It's like, yeah, do you have an open warrant?
Yeah, they are looking for you.
Yeah.
You kind of, makes you wish we can go back to the days of judging people by the content of their character,
Yeah.
And it's obviously not the kid's fault either. He's just a baby in diapers. But
he's on a path. He's on a path now.
But he's onto a path. And when then these kids get to school, and there's a whole school full of these types, it's hard to teach and it's hard for the kids who actually want to learn. Look what this teacher posted about how her classroom's falling apart.
This is going to be a video of things my students have broken in my classroom this school year. First up, we have countless Chromebooks. They all seem to look like this, or pieces are missing from the back of them, things like that. Next up are headphones. The students love the headphones, but they always seem to be broken. I pay for these with my own money, and it is incredibly expensive to buy a class set of headphones. Now we're down to like 4 pairs at the end of the school year. Next is a pencil sharpener. This is my second pencil sharpener of the school year. Someone knocked it down and it cracked right here, and then this piece came apart. I can't seem to get it to fit back on the pencil sharpener, so I guess it's just broken. Next up would be this bookshelf thing I bought. Somebody sat on it, and I guess the buttons on their jeans ripped this part of it off. Another thing my students have mistreated or broken would be the labels on these baskets. Somebody ripped this one off, and I just haven't replaced it. All right, since everyone blew up.
So we get it. Yeah. Everything's falling apart. The school's in Cleveland.
The Chromebooks and the headphones are some big ticket items. She was kind enough to pay for them with her own money, and they still get absolutely abused.
And it seems like the Chromebooks situation where you're like, I can't log into the student portal.
I'm frustrated.
Yeah, it's not like I can't do the calculus question. It's like I can't even log in.
Yeah.
I don't know my password.
Yeah.
Do you remember anything in high school ever breaking like that?
No, and I can't even remember like chemistry class in 7th grade or something. I don't even remember a beaker falling to the ground.
Yeah.
I remember everything that was valuable and we had laptops that were returned to like this cart, you know? I don't remember anything ever really being broken.
Yeah. Jokes aside, we need like a pipeline that takes these kids right from the school and straight to the prison.
Yeah. The school to prison pipeline clearly isn't like working as well as these people say, these activists say.
Yeah.
And I think this is a huge theme that we've done on the show where there's no threats, right? Like the kids all graduate. They all get pushed out of the class. They do whatever they want. They talk back to their teacher. They ruin the experience for the kids who genuinely want to learn or who are there and disciplined enough to kind of get through a lesson plan. And I think there just needs to be like an in-between level. Like when you get to public school, right? There's AP classes, there's the honor students, which they're trying to take those away. We've seen that happen in Seattle, different instances where the AP or honors class, they call it like racism or something, and they take them away. And then there's the normal students who are like kind of trying their best. They're going to get B's, A's, whatever. And then there's just that subclass of kids who are like horrible, irredeemable students.
Barely showing up.
Barely show up. They ditch class. They break stuff. They interrupt. And like there needs to be another level of school where it's basically like daycare in a padded room coloring book shit for them. Where it's like, okay, you've had your chance. You've been disruptive the first 3 weeks of the school year. You're going to the padded room class, buddy.
That's a good idea. And you can like monitor the kids from like kindergarten to middle school, like 8th grade. And then for high school, you either go to high school A, which is like a real high school, or you go to high school B, which is like a light prison.
The bad kids school prison hybrid. And you don't have the opportunity to break a Chromebook because you're doing kind of manual labor type stuff.
We don't give these kids Chromebooks.
Yeah. They get a shovel. You know how hard it is to break a shovel? So, I mean, it's sad because a lot of these bad students just disrupt and then derail the otherwise like neutral students, you know? So America's losing its edge in public education. And we used to be a country who would find a kid from a rural West Virginia town and then he'd go straight to MIT after he showed all this math proficiency. And instead, he just kind of keeps his head down while other kids break the Chromebooks.
And he does fentanyl.
And he's actually discriminated against instead of being...
You can't go to MIT because none of the black kids can go to MIT.
Yeah, remember Homer Hickam? He made it all the way to NASA and stuff. He was building rockets. He's addicted to fent and like the Chromebook's broken. So that's
exactly.
That's the path now.
Another example of kids living in the moment. These kids were shooting Roman candles at a guy on a bike over 4th of July weekend.
Get your ass. Get your ass up. Get your ass up.
Sad. It's not even the gay cyclist with the costume on. It's just a boomer on a bike ride.
I know. He has to be terrorized. So those kids, they're probably in public school right now or maybe just didn't graduate, but they need to be in the padded room. They need. It's like juvie. It's a different tier, right? So.
That's why you don't want to. That's why you don't live near some groups. You know?
Yeah.
Let's go to the woman who left a shelf out on her front porch for the delivery people, and it had like free snacks, chips, Oreos, and it was like a take whatever you want, like as
delivery drivers.
Yeah, it's like a little giving back thing, and look what happened.
So it says, we decided to make a cute little snack cart for our delivery drivers, and here's an example of why you can't do nice things for people. 2 cans of Pringles for this young man,
like,
Amazon driver.
2 cans of Pringles.
2 cans of Pringles. What else can I get?
Okay.
Tissue pack. What's he doing?
Okay, so we took some tissue packs.
Got to get a drink, too.
And he grabs a Prime.
Gatorade.
A Gatorade again. And then he's done. That was a bad take.
That was a lot.
And it would have been like, all right, kind of selfish. Maybe there's another guy in the car. But then he comes back and he steals the whole thing.
Yeah. Here he is.
We'll fast forward a little bit.
Yep. Cheese it. 3 Oreo packs, a Gatorade, Body Armor Water, Pringle. And then he takes the hand sanitizer, comes back a third time, Chex Mix, Cheese It, Oreo pack, Chex Mix, Gatorade, raids the whole thing. And you know what? This is just one of those things where you think you live in a high-trust society, so you do the high-trust society thing, and then you don't, and then it's ruined for everybody else. The next Amazon delivery guy who wanted some icebreakers, wanted a Cheez-It, wanted an Oreo, he doesn't get it now, and it's just over. You remember how we were talking about snuffing out that Twink light? The same thing happens in a low-trust society when you snuff out someone's good heart light.
That's a good heart light person putting the food out, and then that gets snuffed out, never again, in fact, anti.
Yeah, I'll never restock again, and I'm going to be watching my camera on the Amazon
Now I don't
men
trust
instead.
the delivery people.
And you know what's funny about this? I go back to the intro here. The one thing that's worth taking, the beef jerky, the guy doesn't take, and he takes all the stupid shit.
Yep. Just a
Candy.
guy living in the moment. He can't think of anyone else but himself or how it would affect anyone else or how the Ring camera is recording. He can just think, damn, these chips right here is free.
These snacks are free right now.
What is this lady thinking?
I
Aw,
better
man.
take so much of it.
Chips all at once.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Speaking of people living in the moment, there was a guy who had an Airbnb. He was hosting, he's an Airbnb owner. Yeah. And he was accused of being racist after confronting a group that spent the time at his rentals over a weekend. And here's what happened.
We just had an Airbnb guest break the bathroom sink at our brand new property, and they claim that we're being racist for charging them for it. So a few days ago, we had a group of 15 people check out after only spending 2 nights at one of our Airbnbs. And as our cleaners were going through the house, they found a bunch of large cracks in the bathroom sink downstairs. They also saw a bunch of handprints on the mirror above the sink, making it look like somebody had stood in the sink at some point in time. Additionally, our cleaners told us that a decorative pillow from one of the beds was also missing. Now, please understand, these are things that are meticulous.
So the sink was broken. Someone was standing in it or something.
And there's like handprints like close to the ceiling.
Yeah.
So it proves someone was standing on the sink.
Mhm.
And then
this guy asked for reimbursement from the guest. The guest didn't reply. Airbnb stepped in and kind of refunded that cost, which was $235.
And then they accused him of being racist.
And then so Alexis sent a message to him. It says, I am not contacting to request this home, and we will never again. We would have no use for your pillows in any of our homes, first off. And I have a video of what was present when we arrived at that house. There was no broken vanity downstairs. We cleaned and walked through prior to checkout. I find it funny after a family of African Americans check out now, there are things that are missing. It went from changes to the number of guests to now we're thieves. After all, the honesty from my mother prior to checking in, why would we end on this note? Please explain. So it's a African American cop out that someone stood on the sink.
People is living in the moment.
Yeah.
I want to party up here right now.
I want to stand on the sink right now. And if you kind of call me out on it or it causes any damage, that's racism, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Low trust society. This guy opens up his home, and I kind of don't even respect Airbnbs. I don't really like them.
And then he said pillow.
Pillow, yeah. So this guy
Fuck
needs to
your
get his own.
Airbnb.
He's got his own issues.
Yeah.
But that certain thing where it's like you do damage and then it's racism. I don't know.
Hello, Kiev for Kiev, Vivek, Ibiza.
Doesn't make
I'm
sense.
done with all this shit.
Yeah, all you guys can get fucked.
Fuck your Airbnb. But then how about he goes, 15 people rented it for the weekend. And it was never going to go well.
Yeah. That's a tough one.
All right, don't get too down, too depressed. We're moving on to uplifting gold.
Okay.
And we have a lot of good uplifting gold.
And we have a lot of clips that we didn't make it that are going to be in bonus land.
We
Like
have a great bonus land.
the
coming up.
Hennessy foot massage, the deep fried watermelon, the fight for crab legs, just to name a few.
There's a little theme.
It's bad.
Building in bonus land. All right, first things first. While I was on vacation, Rap Boy was here in Florida, and we sent Jerry to Pet Suites.
Yeah.
It's a little place that watches the dog. Jerry got a girlfriend.
Yeah.
He's got a little Rottweiler girlfriend.
There she was. She was Stan. She's got the pink collar. She's a smaller Rottweiler. That's a good setup for the boy.
And they're playing.
Yeah.
And they had fun, and they like each other, and he was in the water the whole day.
That's meant to be.
That's like Simba Nala shit right there.
Okay. Yeah.
Remember the way
I thought you were trying to say like a big word, but then I realized it's
Simbanala.
Simbanala. Yeah, like that's Simbanala, like symbiotic. Yeah.
And then also during that time, Richard Rapboy donated your bones.
Yeah, I did.
You gave your bones to what?
I gave my stem cells to a cancer patient. I did a donation, some guy who has like blood cancer. So I was
in the UK, right?
Yeah, they don't want me to say that, but I don't really care either. It's already done. I did
Throw it out.
Yeah,
Throw out the
throw out his stem cells. This guy dies. Yeah, so it was a long time coming. I signed up for this be the match type thing in college. We've talked about it in bonus land. I finally did it. It kind of ruined my vacation, to be honest. It depleted me for a few days. And so I sacrificed a lot. I wasn't catching sharks and eating pies, weighing 300. I was saving a guy's life.
Hero.
A lot of people are throwing around the word hero. I did it. Here's me hooked up to the blood machine. I had to donate. They suck out my blood. I had to get injections for like 4 days leading up to it. So my body overproduced the stem cells, and I'm saving some guy's life. So I'm a hero. And you know what? I drove back on the highway. Like I went to Boca Raton to do the donation. I drive back on the highway and I'm seeing like a Amber Alert, like Subaru license plate XR thing. And I'm like, man, if I could save that kid too, that would be a banger weekend.
Wow, saving everybody.
But I didn't save the kid. But yeah, so there you go. Hey, if there's a thing where a lot of white people are up to this, a lot of white people join the register. It's kind of one of those signs of a strong community. I'm donating to, they call it my genetic twin. That's what they say. He's my genetic twin.
Where is he?
I'm a one-of-one match. I don't even know the guy. I donated to him. So that's kind of like a citizen thing to do.
You know what I mean? Genetic twin?
That's what they say. It's just like you're very similarly related.
So you'd have to look like each other.
Kind of. I mean, ethnicity-wise, we're very similar. People do it within their ethnicity. I think certain groups don't have as much representation and are a little more doomed. So
racism.
It makes me feel good that I helped the guy out. And it's like he's probably got kids. He's got a family who counts on him. So I'm saving his life.
He could be you, but just 50 years before.
I know.
Like in the way
20
I'm
years.
the same as Meatloaf. You could be the same as this guy.
You ruined it.
All right.
But
let's keep going.
that was it. That
it's
was
not
the
all
vacation.
about you. We got to keep going. Hero move. Tell Richard thank you in the comments, especially if you're watching this late. Thank you, Richard.
Feels good to help someone.
Feels good. Something else that feels good, Tractor Supply. We're not going to read the thing, but
Okay.
Tractor Supply says
They got
Tractor
bullied.
Supply says that they will remove all DEI programs and also stop sponsoring Pride events.
Among other changes following public backlash. So Tractor Supply Company, who like is
You
farm
didn't need
equipment,
to do anything fucking gay.
farm equipment, and then they got bullied, and then it worked. So
good.
no
Thank
longer
you.
submit data to the Human Rights Campaign, refocus our team member engagement groups. They're doing a lot of shit to say we fucked up. So
Thank you, Tractor Supply. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Coeur d'Alene protest. There was a protest rally thing. There was a July 4th event.
Yeah.
And they said you can't have any crosses
Can't bring crosses to the Coeur d'Alene 4th of July parade.
in Idaho. And here's what happened. Everyone brought their cross.
Yep.
Love to see it.
Cross, cross, cross. Big crosses, too.
Good. Love to see it.
If you tell me I can't do something,
And it's something that everyone in the town is united behind and
it's-
wants to do, and it's the foundation of our whole country.
foundational to America,
You can't do it, but then some Muslim comes here and then he wipes his ass and feeds me shit curry. Doesn't work.
doesn't ring true to me.
Another uplifting story. This guy's license plate says F slur.
Yeah. You guys know what the F slur
Good
is.
to see the F slur
And
used
it's a
again.
White Sox license plate. So shout out to that guy. I'm a White Sox fan.
There you go. Good to see the F slur back in rotation.
I know. That's in Chicago.
All right, let's go to our next story, the next clip. This woman protects her child from a bear.
Oh, girl. You'll be fine.
The bear's just looking for snacks. It's one of those small black bears outside of Gallatin, Tennessee, who's just looking for snacks. They get used to the humans.
Yeah, he'll leave. All right, carry the food, go on this for me, please. Take the food.
What's uplifting about this? She protected the kid a little
Yeah,
bit?
protected the kid.
Stood tall?
And it's like the opposite of the lady who had the kid stealing Amazon packages.
That's true.
But who knows what they were doing before this.
Oh, they might have been caught on a Ring camera themselves.
Gotta keep this kid safe so he can steal the Amazon packages for me. That's actually dark.
Yeah.
But it's uplifting.
Yeah.
And it just shows that we're not anti-black people. There's black people doing good things right there.
I'm just very anti-criminal. I hate criminals, and I hate watching criminals get off. I hate watching them reoffend and our justice system do nothing. I have a deep, deep hatred for low trust activities.
Me too.
And low trust activities can come in any race, but they happen a lot more commonly in certain ones.
Exactly. All right, we're going to end the show with 2 shout-outs. You remember we said I want fish to watch the show?
Mm-hmm.
On last episode, I said if you guys could show the show to a fish. Base Latin did it, and our boy Ethan did it too. So he's showing them the section about the fish being shown.
That's good. I only can dream that a show watcher would catch a fish and show them the show.
That's huge.
And then this is Ethan.
Fleccas Podcast, episode 181 today on the show. A new White House twink just
Isn't that pretty good?
Until you see how
People are fish. We got 2 new show watchers there.
Thank you. And that counts, well, that's what we always say. Multiple screens is important because that fish watched and we didn't get the view.
I know.
And it's happened twice.
I know. It's crazy.
And then last but not least, on this same topic, someone sent a video of a frog watching the show. Welcome back to Fleccas Podcast, episode 181 today on the show. A new White House twink just dropped. Wait until you see how
Love it.
That's so important to us.
Yeah, that's huge.
All right, thank you guys for watching the Fleccas Talks in the books. Please like, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. FleccasTalks.com for Bonus Land. We have a 30-minute Bonus Land dropping right now. And we had an awesome advice section last week and a golf Q&A special. Everyone's raving about it. You got to sign up and watch. Now is the time, especially if you're watching this late in the show. You're going to want to catch up on this great content. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you in Bonus Land. And if we don't see you in Bonus Land, we'll see you Friday.